Chapter 10, Mishnah 13. This Mishnah lists 3 more activities that were permitted only in the temple. We may put a dressing back onto a wound in the temple, but not in the rest of the country. It is rabbinically forbidden to apply a bandage smeared with ointment to the wound, because one might smooth out the ointment, which is biblically forbidden under the malacha of smoothing. Nevertheless, a Kohen who had removed a dressing from his hand in order to perform the temple service is allowed to put it back on his hand. But if instead of putting it back, one wants to put the dressing on the wound for the first time, it is forbidden both here in the temple and here outside the temple. The next case involves a stringed musical instrument. We may tie a snap string of a musical instrument in the temple, but not in the rest of the country. It is rabbinically forbidden to tie the 2 ends of the snap string together on Shabbos, even with a temporary knot, because one might come to make a permanent knot, which is biblically forbidden under the malacha of tying. Nevertheless, if the string of a musical instrument that is used in the temple snapped, one may tie the 2 ends together with a temporary knot, so that it could be played during the temple service. But if, instead of repairing a broken string, one wants to attach a string to the instrument for the first time, it is forbidden both here in the temple and here outside the temple. The third case involves removing a wart from an animal. We may cut off a wart by hand from an animal in the temple, but not in the rest of the country. It is rabbinically forbidden to remove a wart by hand, because one might come to do so with a tool, e.g. a knife, which is biblically forbidden under the malacha of shearing. Nevertheless, it is permitted to remove a wart from an animal so that it can be brought as an offering in the temple. But if, instead of removing it by hand, one wishes to cut it off with a tool, it is forbidden both here in the temple and here outside the temple, because cutting off a wart with a tool is a biblical transgression.